Hey there, welcome back to the fourth conversation, which I subtitle Conversations with Someone because they're usually inspired by interactions with other people here on YouTube. Or I got an email the other day from someone in the UK telling me how much they appreciate my videos and how they really hope that I continue doing more. So thank you, Philip, for your appreciation and kind words that inspired some thoughts, and so I guess you get your wish. Here's another video. So ever since I discovered the diversity of experiences, beliefs, and opinions that come with the story of awakening and enlightenment, I've really been fascinated by the variety of very different paths people have walked on this journey. When I finally discovered the non-duality rabbit hole several years after my paradigm shift, I quickly realized my experience was fairly unusual for how I got here, air quotes. A friend of mine who is obsessed with the subject was in the midst of doing a deep dive of all things non-duality, and he shared quite a few speakers with me who made a lot of sense, but also seemed to be coming from a slightly different place than I felt like my experience had taken me. Possibly more from a place of ego or personal interpretation or over-intellectualizing the whole thing. So making these videos and releasing them into the wild like I did has led me to discover some very authentic people in various stages of shifting their own paradigm, or their paradigm shifting, however you want to say that. And these people are sharing this without filter, ego, or dogma. I'm not sure if it's been going on for a while and I just hadn't dug deep enough, or if there's actually something kind of new happening here. But what I'm seeing is a seemingly growing number of people shedding layers of attachment and ego, not by following famous teachers or gurus, but by listening to a really wide multitude of speakers. I'm seeing that whole teacher-student, guru-follower dynamic, which I've always instinctively felt help to create new ego characters rather than help liberate from the idea of being a character. And it seems that dynamic is being replaced with a sort of, I don't know, hive mind filtering process, where people are actually starting to spread the teachings out, the experiences out over many, many different people, and finding their way to their own truth using that. With all that everyone complains about the ugliness of social media and how it's destroying our world and our culture, I've often wondered, maybe even believe, if this, what we're living through today with the era of social media, might actually be a huge purging of our collective bullshit. Stuff we've kept hidden from each other because we had the privacy of our own little lives. That we can't hide from each other anymore, and so all of this crap that we think and feel and believe everyone's empowered to share it all in a way that follows them forever, but it's like this huge mirror into our collective consciousness, and I don't think any of us like what we're seeing. But maybe that's what's necessary for us to start getting over ourselves. Much like personal growth requires a deep dive into our own individual demons. It seems like the world now, everyone's shit's out on the table, and in some ways we're finally starting to deal with it. And being fake with ourselves and fake with others is getting increasingly impossible. And from that perspective, it's entirely understandable that we're collectively having sort of a mental and emotional breakdown in our society. But it seems like if we can collectively survive and navigate this, there might actually be a chance to learn from it and do things differently. But, as with a lot of these cases, a lot of, on a personal level or not, sometimes things have to get worse before they get better. So, I'm not sure we're to that tipping point yet where we have to change. When I started making these videos, it was a very passive act, simply sort of opening a door. And I'm grateful and amazed that some of you have walked through it. And I'm also a little surprised by how few trolls or egocentric know-it-alls have felt compelled to tell me where I'm wrong, to teach me the truth. And it took me a while to figure out how to make these videos, because my intent when creating these was to not engage in or provoke ego while sharing. And to make these videos as unappealing as possible to those who are just looking for brain candy and want to be right or prove a point. And remarkably, it seems like this filter seems to have been just right. I absolutely love that my subscriber count grows slowly, incrementally, but authentically, it seems. And I also love that other small YouTubers are sharing these things everywhere. It's great to see so many voices. To be honest, I don't really watch non-duality videos much anymore or listen to other speakers, because it's gotten to a point for me where there's sort of like the many voices of the one. I have connected with a few people more organically, and whenever I run across a video that catches my attention by maybe the way it's framed or a certain angle, new perspective on the common topics. But I admit I find myself avoiding channels that are really popular and appeal to thousands and thousands of people. That's possibly because I simply value authentic connection now in my life more than superficial ones. And it's also possible that I'm wanting those connections, having done lived this way alone for so long. So either way, or both most likely, I recently opened another door by including my email address for those interested in getting in touch with me directly. And as when I started putting these videos on YouTube, something new seems to be growing out of that. It feels sort of like planting mystery seeds and then watching them unfold magically in stages over time with no idea what they're finally going to bloom to be. And when I began making these videos, there was literally no one watching them. I used to feel like I was sitting here talking to no one and everyone because that was the literal truth. I didn't tell any of my friends about my channel. I didn't promote it in any way or subject it to anybody in my family or circles. But now when I'm sitting here making these, I'm also not only talking to no one and everyone, but I'm talking to you, which is a curious feeling. But thanks for being part of this fascinating experience. I look forward to how this all continues to unfold. So thanks for listening, and I hope you guys have a great day. Take care.